Denver, and welcome to Bootcamp. How fun is this? So, I am your very, very proud Executive Director of the WorldVentures Foundation. You know, I wanted to think for a minute and talk to you a little bit about why we have a foundation. And for people who are new, to just reflect on why it's important for you all to know what the foundation is, what it can mean to you, and what it can mean to your business. And then we're going to take a global tour. So let's talk a little bit about why it's important to be a member of the WorldVentures Foundation. The foundation was created by the leadership of WorldVentures because they have heart, and because they believe that every experience can be extended by the transformation of giving. And that's what we do. And my job is to travel and talk to people across the world so that you all can have that experience, because there's nothing more transformational than a great vacation with friends and family you love, and then giving and having service for others. You know, it's as good as it gets. So for all of you that have already joined us, a big thank you. Thank you, thank you. So one more thing before we go on our global journey. Everybody in Denver who has helped us with the Boys and Girls Club service excursions, everybody who helped us raise the money for a fabulous multi-purpose dream court here in Denver at the Boys and Girls Club, please give them all a great big thank you. This is amazing. So I'll answer the question. How did she do this? Since everybody's been asking me anyway. So I was at Bootcamp in Greece, and I had met a wonderful woman in Las Vegas, the story of why it matters to be in WorldVentures. And she lived in Greece, and she invited me to spend an evening with her at the Acropolis, at the Parthenon. And it was beautiful. And she said, wear sensible shoes. Well, I don't know if you've all seen me, but I'm always in heels. So sensible shoes means flats to me. It doesn't mean sensible shoes. So you get to the Parthenon, and it's solid, shiny, beautiful marble. And I was in very, very hip, cool, flat shoes with leather soles. So that's what happens when you don't really know what you're doing. And I took a nice swan dive on the Acropolis. But I thought, what a beautiful place to break your arm. I mean, gosh, you know, couldn't be more beautiful. So that's the answer. So let's start our global tour. You with me? So, okay. These are going to be VolunTours that you can tell your customers, your potential partners, reps, members, what the foundation's doing. It's also tours that we hope that you'll say, I want to be part of that tour too. Because at the beginning of this year, we spent our time renaming the foundation, building the foundation of the foundation, so we can start scaling it up. The Boys and Girls Club, a very important partner for the US. Everybody can help at the Boys and Girls Clubs. You don't need to travel 5,000 miles to do that. You can do it right here in Denver with us. So off we go. We're going to start with our dear friends first. So let's go to Guatemala. So, yes. So why Guatemala? Why first? We go once or twice a month to Guatemala. We build our famous bottle schools there with our impact partner, Hug It Forward. They have been a really important impact partner for the foundation. And why they're important for us is that they have been building this organization's philanthropic arm by being so wonderful in the way they deliver the volunteer experience, the repetition of doing it. It's an amazing experience, as many of you could attest to. The money we raised at United, for everybody that did that, thank you again, thank you. We raised $104,000. Of that, thank you. Of that, we've already started building 3 schools. So it's money in action immediately. And the people that did donate will be sending our first personalized update of what's happening with the money that you were so generous with. So what happens in Guatemala? We've built over 25 schools. We have, great participation. It's a legacy for Guatemala. We have amazing leadership taking trips to Guatemala, from Dave Watson to other leaders. Bethany goes there. And we're really, really proud of the work we've done together with Hug It Forward. But I do have a little side note. We have an amazing young man, Nelson Rossi, who's So Nelson has a trip to Guatemala in August, and he has worked 6 months to try and put his minimum number together. He's really close. If anyone's interested in going in August and can join us, please come to the booth and help him make it happen. He's got to have 10 to go, and we want to help him make it happen. So please come if you think you can do it. We'd love to have you. It's August 15th to the 21st. All right, so those are what we do in Guatemala. So let's move on to our next country, and that's our Cuba visit. So, yay! So what is Cuba? Cuba is, I was there in March to make sure that we want to go there together, and we do. Old Havana is beautiful. Fidel Castro is somewhere, no one knows where, very ill, and his brother has been renovating all of Old Havana. So it's just gorgeous. And you can feel that there's a change about to take place, and we want to go before that happens, before the high-rises, before the McDonald's and Starbucks. We want to see it as an authentic colonial town. And so we'll do service work in 2 towns. We can't do voluntourism there because they say socialism works. We don't need American volunteers, thank you. But we will have you come and do social exchange with our communities, and we want to do that. We want to be there. We want to experience that. So that's coming up in the end of September. And for those that have always had a yen to go drive in 1950s cars, roll those lovely cigars, Romeo and Juliet it's called, and then there's music all day long there. So please, please think about joining us for Cuba. And I know several of you have already joined us there. So on to our next stop. Oh, yes, who am I bringing? They're just reminding me on the screen here. So Mike Putman and our chairman, Mike Wick, are joining us. So you'll also get to have some one-on-one with leadership from WorldVentures. So we're excited about that. So please join us. All right, so on to the next country. So where's Bethany? All right, well, I don't see her, but Bethany is taking a trip to Liberia again. And she wants you to join her, and she's actually going to be with Sprite. And for all of you, yes, there she is. So for all of you that remember Sprite, she's moved to Liberia. She's hosting this. You'll land, she'll be there. You'll do reggae on the beach. You'll do clean water projects for the communities, and you'll have an amazing time. And as I said, Bethany will be there. For those of you that don't know Bethany, that's an amazing experience to learn about her leadership in WorldVentures. So please consider that trip. So it doesn't stop. We're going to go on. Now we're going to Mexico. This all began with Dave Baird wanted me to meet Entre Amigos, this agency he works with there, an NGO down there. Has anybody here been with Dave to there? Yeah. So we did, and we fell in love. And while Dave is doing a certain kind of volunteering there, the foundation is going to do what we're beginning to call eco play spaces. And these will be start-to-finish projects that take place in a 5-day period. We land, we meet the community we're going to serve, we stay on the beach area in I think it's, just a second, let me see, San Pancho. And we're going to start in December. And it just so happens in December, all the humpback whales on the eastern board come there to have their babies. So the whole bay will be full of humpback whales with their little baby whales. So I think that's worth the trip just for that. But if that doesn't do it for you, we're going to build a playground. We're going to get there, and we're going to build a playground, and we're going to leave it finished. So in the 5-day period we're there, we're going to complete an eco playground with recycled materials. And so we're looking, right now we're talking to leadership who will start sponsoring that and being part of it. But that takes off December 3rd, and we're hoping to bring it at a price point you can really afford and zip down there and make a difference. So there's Mexico, so please think about that. All right. So, last stop on the globe, a place that has my heart. This is my favorite country in the world, and I'm going to take just 20 people to my favorite places in India. And then, when we've done things like, go to the ultimate love symbol, the Taj Mahal, go ride some elephants to a fort in Jaipur, go to a white tiger reserve in Ranthambore. Then we'll go to a little village called Amroha, where I have been several times to work with the children and the women there. It's amazing. They don't even understand basic hygiene. They don't even understand why education matters. And our job over 2 days will to show them that people can come from across the world to show them that we care enough to share our expertise in simple things like hygiene, simple things like why education matters. And I know from my own experience, it'll be transformative. So we'll finish that trip with a guest, as guests of a friend of mine in Delhi, who will have a private dinner and a sitar player come to entertain us. So it'll be a pretty special event. So do consider that. James Lee has already said yes, he wants to join us. So that should keep the energy really high. So, all right, so there we have traveled the globe. I think that you can get a sense of what we've been working on. And I do think that it's not, it's aspirational. When I was in my 20s, I couldn't go anywhere in the world I wanted. But the idea that one day I wanted to, one day I could get there, really helped me work hard and really helped me in my own world, when I lived in Chicago then, build my business and become, successful so I could do the things I want to do. But I think it's really important to look at what we're doing locally. And what we're doing locally is the Boys and Girls Clubs. And those service excursions are our way of scaling your service experience. So now we're adding them to dream trips. And you will be able to go on a dream trip to Orlando and go and do a service project to the Boys and Girls Club. If you'd like to, it'll be optional. But it'll be like, so I'm going to go swim with the dolphins, see Mickey, and by the way, save the world for half a day. And why not? Why not go half a day and make a difference in the lives of children? We can do it. There's 100,000 of us. Nobody in the world has what we have. I go to places and I say, we have 100,000 volunteers. People don't believe me. They don't believe that we have such a service culture. This culture of service we have is unknown anywhere else I've ever been in the world. And you are the reason why. I mean, you believe in this stuff. You are service. And I thank you. I really do. So I do have a little story to tell you. Oh, yes, and don't forget, if you're going to the Riviera Maya, we're doing a massive series of service excursions to the City of Joy, and I hope you'll all come on that. So thank you. So I was in Guatemala. That was my first voluntour with here. I mean, I've been to India a lot, but working in India at the schools there. But Guatemala, so I arrive, and the team I'm with is Team No Sleep. So, and with Dave Watson. So I picked a week to show up, and I had like, okay, we're on. And we had a ball. But I want to tell you what was the most important moment of that trip for me. We're having our farewell dinner. You know, I've been with these fellas for a couple of days. They are, you know, they're from like the Bronx and Jersey, and they're big. And I'm, you know, and you all know now I'm English, and I'm like, okay, fellas, just, you know, stay over there a little bit. So we're having a great time. We've been dancing. We've been with the children. But ultimately, we all cried, 2-1. And I'm looking at us, and I'm going, what is going on? You know, here's these beefy fellas, and they're so cool, and all tattoos, and ooh, you know. And they were transformed. And what they were transformed about was the giving, was the experience that they had. And they have imprinted in my mind that I cannot know what it's going to mean to each person. So when we say the WorldVentures Foundation manifests positive change for children and communities globally, one experience at a time, we mean it. It's one experience at a time. So I thank you. I hope you'll come to the booth and learn more about what we're doing. I know they said I've got to tell you one thing. If you're interested in the December trip to Mexico, it's December 3rd, and you have to like us on Facebook to get the information, because we won't launch it for another couple of weeks. So if you like us on Facebook, you'll be the first to hear the details. If you want to come to Cuba, you have to come to the booth. So come see me at the booth at the break. And any questions you have, my door is always open. So thank you. You are why I'm here. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you.